it's not going to come natural to you. Say, if you grew up with distant cousins, for instance, and those distant cousins are people who you grew up with, you went from state to state with, you had family reunions with, maybe it was just a normal day to go and visit each other and to drop everything for a while. And then eventually people move or people get more work or whatever, and their life changes and you don't see them anymore. Maybe some of that has to do with, like, for instance, your family that you're being raised with not talking to them anymore. And so you had to sort of learn the negative impact of that. Maybe they didn't personally do anything to the family, but they're gossiping about them, or they're sort of finding fault with things, and they just don't like them, and they don't like their lifestyle, they don't like their relationship, they don't like the alternative way in which they live. And so you find hearing about this and you find witnessing judgment, right? But let's say it gets even closer and people have hurt you. Maybe you realize that it wasn't really your fault, that you were not perfect, and that you didn't know how to take accountability at the time and you know how to take accountability now. And you realize where you might have hurt somebody. But that whole idea, and maybe this is where we need to start slow, is this idea that, like, we understand every relationship, we could be the end all be all. Because when it comes to people betraying, like, it gets really close to home and people have really tried to take what they didn't help you to get. And it's not about relationships, kind of, no one is interested in the other people anymore. These friendships suck. No, I'm talking about, like, even just family alone. Because if you can do this with your family, you can do this with anybody. Get into a place where you realize how negative it is from an outsider's perspective that somebody would have had to betray you to go get what they think is owed to them. And then start paying yourself back. Like, stop trying to get people revenge, because the more you try to get revenge on people, the more you're taking away from yourself, and you're not pouring into your cup. You're not pouring back into your cup what you owe yourself, what you've taken from yourself by overgiving. And instead, go find hobbies, go find sports, go find work, go find education. I don't care. Like, I actually think that it's a good thing, whatever it is, even if it's not something I would do.